If you ever stay in a hostel where the lights flicker at exactly 3:07 a.m., leave immediately. If you hear slow footsteps outside your door when everyone is asleep, do not open Italiano. And if someone whispers your name from the empty hallway, pretend you didn't hear it. This happened during my second year of college when I moved into an old brick hostel on the edge of campus. It looked normal during the day, just faded paint, cracked stairs, and windows that never fully closed. But the first night, I understood why seniors warned us to avoid the top floor. My room was 304, third floor, last door on the left. The corridor lights buzzed like angry insects, and the air smelled like damp wood. At the end of the hallway, there was a locked door that no one talked about. Before I go further, make sure you like and subscribe to Unblinking, because stories like this only get darker. Trust me, you'll want to hear what happened next. And if you've ever lived in a hostel, comment where you stayed while you listen. The first strange thing happened at exactly 3:07 a.m. I woke up to the sound of someone dragging something heavy across the floor above me. The problem was, there was no floor above me. I sat up, heart pounding, staring at the ceiling. The dragging sound moved slowly from one corner to the other. Then it stopped right above my bed. I told myself it was pipes. Old buildings make noises, especially at night. Maybe I imagined it. The next morning, I asked my roommate, Daniel, if he heard anything. He went pale and said, "You heard it too." That's when I found out everyone on the third floor hears it eventually. They called it the shifting. No one knew what caused it. Some said it was just the building settling, but here's what they didn't explain. Every time someone complained about the noise, they requested a room change, and every time, their request was delayed for weeks. 3 days later, something else happened. I was brushing my teeth in the shared bathroom when I noticed one of the stall doors slowly creaking open. No one was inside. The lights flickered once, then twice. Then everything went dark. I froze, toothpaste dripping from my mouth. In the darkness, I heard soft breathing behind me, slow and steady. I turned around quickly and switched on my phone flashlight. The bathroom was empty, but the mirror was fogged up, even though the water wasn't running. On the mirror, words were faintly visible. 3 shaky letters. 304. That was my room. I stepped back, nearly slipping on the wet tiles. Maybe someone was playing a prank. College students do stupid things. But when I wiped the mirror clean, the glass felt ice cold. And the letters didn't smear. They faded, like they were never really there. That night, I couldn't sleep. At exactly 3:07 a.m., the dragging sound returned. This time, it was louder. It sounded like something heavy was being pulled down the hallway. Slowly, stopping at each door, I counted the pauses. 1, 2. It stopped outside 301, then moved. Stopped outside 302. My throat went dry. It reached 303. Then silence. I stared at my door, waiting. Every muscle in my body felt locked in place. Then came 3 soft knocks. Not loud, not aggressive. Just 3 slow taps. Daniel was asleep in the other bed, facing the wall, or at least, I thought he was. He hadn't moved. The door handle began to shake gently, not violently, just testing it, as if someone was checking whether it was locked. I couldn't breathe. My phone screen lit up by itself on the bedside table. 3:07 a.m. The knocking stopped. The dragging sound continued down the hallway, stopping at 305. The next morning, we found out something strange. The student in room 305 had left during the night. His bed was empty. His phone was still charging. His shoes were still by the door, but he was gone. No one saw him leave. Security cameras on our floor weren't working that night. The administration said it was a technical issue. People whispered that this wasn't the first time. Over the past 10 years, a few students had transferred suddenly. That's what the record said, but no one could explain why they left everything behind. No one could explain why their parents rarely came looking. It was like they simply vanished from campus memory. I started researching the hostel's history. It was built in the 1960s. Before that, the land was empty, or so the official records claimed. An old forum thread mentioned a fire that happened decades ago. A small, unreported incident. According to rumors, the top floor was once storage. Some said someone got trapped during renovations, but there were no public records. The more I searched, the more gaps I found. Dates, missing documents, una bailable. Maybe it was just poor record keeping. Maybe my mind was filling in the blanks. Sleep deprivation can do strange things. The next night, I decided to stay awake. I kept my phone recording from 2:55 a.m. I wanted proof. At exactly 3:07 a.m., the dragging started again. But this time it was inside the walls. Moving from left to right, the sound stopped right behind my headboard. Then came a faint scratching, like nails against wood. Daniel finally woke up. He looked at me with wide eyes. "You hear that?" he whispered. We both stared at the wall. The scratching grew louder, then something thudded hard against it. A crack appeared in the paint. Thin, jagged. From the crack, a dark liquid slowly seeped out. It dripped down to the floor in thick drops. It smelled like rust. Daniel jumped up and turned on the lights. The wall was clean. No crack. No liquid. Nothing. We both looked at each other. Neither of us spoke. Maybe we were just tired, but my phone had been recording. When I played the video, the screen was black at 3:07. No sound. Whoosed. For exactly 1 minute. After that night, Daniel requested a transfer. He said he couldn't stay there anymore. His request was denied. 2 days later, Daniel disappeared, just like the student from 305. His bed was neatly made. His wallet was on the desk. His laptop was still open. But he was gone. Campus police searched for him. They questioned me for hours. I told them about the noises. They wrote it down, but didn't look convinced. One officer asked if I was under stress. I didn't know how to answer. That night, I was alone in room 304. The hallway felt quieter than usual. Almost like it was waiting. At 3:07 a.m., there was no dragging sound. There were no knocks. Just silence. That scared me more than anything, because silence in that building meant something had changed, and I didn't know what. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. "Don't open the door." I stared at the screen. It was sent at 3:06 a.m., but Daniel was missing. Before I could reply, there were 3 slow knocks. Right on my door. Soft and patient. I didn't move. The handle slowly turned. It stopped halfway. Then came a whisper. My name. Clear and close. I covered my mouth to stop myself from screaming. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe grief was playing tricks on me. The whisper came again. Closer this time. Right by my ear. But I was still on my bed. Frozen. Alone. Suddenly, the locked door at the end of the hallway slammed open. I heard it from inside my room. A loud, echoing bang! The dragging sound returned fast each time, rushing down the corridor. It didn't stop at any door. It came straight to mine. The knocking turned into pounding. The entire door shook. The wood splintered near the lock. I thought it would break. Then everything stopped. No sound. No movement. The lights flickered once. Tin went out. In the darkness, I felt something cold brush past my leg. Slow, deliberate. I shut my eyes tightly. I didn't want to see. I didn't want to know. When the lights came back on, my door was wide open. The hallway was empty, but the locked door at the end was now slightly open. I don't know why I walked toward it. Maybe I wasn't thinking clearly. Maybe I just needed answers. The air grew colder with each step. The open doorway revealed a staircase I had never seen before, leading up, but there was no floor above us. At least, that's what we were told. The building plan showed only 3 floors. The stairs were covered in dust. Footprints marked the surface. Fresh ones. I followed them. Each step creaked loudly. My heartbeat echoed in my ears. At the top, there was a narrow hallway, dark and unfinished, like it was never meant to be used. At the end of that hallway, I saw several doors. Each had a number scratched into the wood. 304, 305, 306, and more. Doors that matched the missing students' rooms. My breath caught in my throat. I felt lightheaded. I reached for the handle of the door marked 304. It was slightly warm, like someone had just touched it. From behind the door, I heard breathing. Slow, steady. Then a voice. My own voice. Whispering. I stepped back. I still don't know what was real. Maybe I was rewriting my senses. Behind me, the hallway seemed longer than before. The staircase was no longer visible, only darkness. The breathing grew louder. The door handle began to turn. Slowly, I ran. I don't remember how I found the stairs. I don't remember reaching my room. All I know is that I woke up the next morning on my bed. The door was closed. Everything looked normal, except for one thing. On my desk, carved into the wood, were 3 numbers. 304. I reported everything to campus authorities. They said I was stressed. They suggested counseling. By the end of the semester, the 3rd floor was shut down for maintenance. New students were moved into a different building. The old hostel stands empty now. Sometimes I drive past it at night. The windows are dark, but at exactly 3:07 a.m., one light turns on. The 3rd floor. Last window on the left. Maybe it's faulty wiring. Maybe it's just my imagination. I still don't know what I saw. If you ever stay in a place where something knocks at 3:07 a.m., don't answer. Some places are better left unexplored, and maybe some questions aren't meant to be answered. If this story gave you chills, comment 304 below, so I know you made it to the end. Share this with someone who lives in a hostel, and subscribe to Unblinking for more stories that will stay with you long after the lights go out.